hopefully that's the audio levels that I'm intending on. There we go, there we go. In a long drawing, and I think I'm gonna try to actually use a reference image today, even though I've been collecting a million forever. So this pose is gonna make it go good. This pose is gonna make my dream come true. This is gonna create the art theirs. Honestly, this stream is dedicated to Silly Guy because so once I realized that I miscalculated the day that I was leaving, because I'm still gonna be gone for a week. I'm just gonna have that in writing. But I miscalculated which day it is, so we're good for today. I'm not good at building credibility yet, but then I saw, even though I miscalculated, I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today because I was still having some stuff to do, but then, Silly Guy, I saw your message say that you were glad there's a stream today, and I was like, you know what, miscalculations be damned, let's go on here, woohoo. Hi to Guy, hi to something with the meaty grandma sorting in the river of the pigeon. God, there's some strong types of imagery going on there. Hello to little smiley faces happening, or big smiley faces happening, who knows? Or just sort of an arc. Okay, so I've got this reference image ready to go, I think. Better to have it on my phone too, because although I have Pure Ref as a program, there's Silly Guy saying, this is my phone, sorry, I only realized like an hour later that was an issue. This has been quite the mishap then. This has been quite the mishap. Better get to better not lose my voice here. Okay. That's quite the sound of somebody completely alive, not even a little bit dead. Okay there. Hello to Half Lazy saying, hello, hey fuckers and those that don't, how are we today? Now there's the beyond gender neutrals type of dress. Now there's the new form of a dress for the modern age. Here's, a little bit of this, there's the collection of smiley faces, maybe growing, and I have Rain and Ida thoughts on the mind with this pose, so maybe I can get that together. There's a encouragement not to be dying. I'll take it under consideration. Okay, so this one is like, how big do I want to map that out? Decently. We'll put that over here, and one shoulder is like this, and then I'm gonna, yesterday I got to thinking that even though I have the Lumity profile picture and have had that for ages now, I haven't completed particularly a lot of art of them together. I don't know, I just kept drawing them apart individually because I get intimidated by drawing characters interacting, so that's a bit of a challenge. There's Silly Guy saying, Forsaken made me cry, guys, please, they make me so sad. They're giving you updates from what I have seen. They're giving you updates or emotional downgrades, one might say. Kai saying, just got a work in progress of the chippy that you ordered. I always feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong, and now you're going to look up how to make it into a keychain. Life is good when you can spend money. Hey, healed by the purchasing of goods, aren't you? There, Slicky saying, thank you so much, Silla. Guys, take back any criticism I've said to your favorite media, and I'm out here. And I see that you're placing the headless hatsman. Okay, this is a very solid pose. You can have hips. You can have hips a little bit if you want. Okay, and the next part after having hips is pants. Okay, drawing poses where people are standing together or otherwise interacting. It's a little bit more complex than just going into a face or whatnot. Okay, all of this happening. There's half lazy saying, "Oh, that sounds awesome. I have a friend who recommends." Oh, there's a specific recommendation about where to get your keychains. Now that's excellent. You're saying the less chains on your keyring, they tend to be stronger. Ooh. A long canvas time indeed is what's happening. Let's outline a couple of figures in different ways. Okay, here's a noggin happening. As I figure him out, sometimes your mouth is a little top hat, and then that makes you look very angry. How interesting. Right, and then we can have a little bit of another head. I just keep adding the heads on. It just keeps getting more excellent. Woo! Here is a bit of a shoulder happening to get the arm together. I love reference images, actually. I love reference images. They've never once caused me pain and strife and uncertainty. Here's this. Oh my gosh, the hat gets more detailed. And we go on drawing the body. Kind of like this. Kind of like when there's less bend here than I would think. How interesting, how enticing. And then there's the guy saying the way I speedrun the art up in the Discord after seeing the update. Whoa. Oh, right. Can't be coughing to death. Let's take a look at the Discord. So I feel like so much has happened to me. Oh, 10 in the morning my time. I could have been seeing this. I could have been observing the arts. And there's you weren't prepared for a stream today. You have no repertoire. Oh, but I'm seeing a variety of hats. And then there's I feel like this is the ideal type of fan art for Roblox games. It just feels ideal. So this is the 6-hour stream. I'm still crunched for time. I'm still crispy for time. I was thinking like 90 minutes or something. Look at the style up in here. All of them legs. I said in an art appreciative and non-objectifying way because I believe that could be a normal sentence when I could be look at things. This is so cool. You're getting art now because look at this. But loving the vibes. I'm having a stuck in a throat as well. Stuck in a throat happening as I figure out what bodies are made of. Okay, so the torso can be kind of thick. Thick torso is happening. And it can be going like this if we're drawing Rain and Eat It. And then your torso is also, there's like half a hip that is visible. Something, your legs, can't forget the sheer amount of leg that you are having, but it's all going to be like a little bit, getting the right angles on it. Do diagonal people mess me up? Did I say as if that's a category of person? Okay, so goes like this, which then goes like this, and which means there's a knee here, which goes like this. And that's what people are made of. A series of interconnecting lines. We wonder about it every time. I see you've spotted Doomzilla faster than I have. I'm just so transfixed by the shins in this picture. Hi, Doomzilla. See, they've caught you for the link. Hello to River, saying that you have a question. Go to Magma. Sure. You go to wait. Okay, no, I've God, that's dyslexic happening real time. Go to general, where you have the question. Generally speaking, yes. Sure, I'm in the general. What time is it for you, River? Hello. What time is happening? It's 4 a.m. Why? Why? All right, what else? What else was I looking at? What else was I looking at? Just have that open, and here we go. It's this is I thought that this was going to be a little sailor hat, I will say, but there's a little bit of a Luigi. Okay, whoa, whoa. Have you been to a? Have you been to a? Okay, I thought that was gonna be a convention or something. You have a lot of pictures of the entity. You have a lot of pictures of the entity. I thought it was gonna be one picture of the entity. Yeah, let's actually go on over, because this has started with a question. What do you do if you encounter this creature? I mean, from the context where we live in a world where sometimes a person is in a costume, from that context, it doesn't need to be so scary. But if you're calling it the entity, then that implies a context that I'm not prepared to handle, you know? That this is not just a costume, but has abilities. This is the worst. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. What are they? Is this in a medical context? Why would this be in a medical context? What the hell are they using that for? So that's most interesting. Is sort of saying, "Hey, that's my mom." Rude. There's talk of slapping it. Disgusting. So I think we're gonna slap your mom, YouTubies. I'm really sorry that we've convened into the art club, and what we've decided to do today, just a mere 12 minutes into the stream, we're slapping your mom. This Wario Laluigi French happening up in here. I'm terrified of entities. You're saying it looks like your kidney. You've seen your kidney? You need to get your kidney checked. This thing is having teeth. If we scroll to the pictures where it's making eye contact. Oh, why so much mouth happening? Okay, I have my phone open for glorious purposes, for glorious leg drawing purposes. The amount of leg, foot, and ankle shown here is making me want to try to attempt anatomical drawing things. Okay, it kind of goes like this. You can have very flat feet indeed. You can go like this in a bunch of rectangle shapes. There's being quoted on Slap It. Have I heard of Diagonal Mario? Was a question that I missed earlier. I question myself every day. Berenstain Bears, Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes, the Mandela effect, you know what I'm talking about. Do I know if a Diagonal Mario exists? He goes diagonally sometimes. There's River saying, you heard it here first, folks. Exclusive scoop to Shadow News. Being quoted on it severely. Okay, some other knees can also happen in this capacity. Sort of like this. 2 knees is what you're having, is what's happening. A little bit like this, and I think that all makes sense, maybe. How are you faring in Disco Elysium? I've finished the first playthrough, which I don't know if I want to go and see other things, but maybe I would just post a little clips or something if I want to go off seeing other things in the game, because multiple pathways, everything fully voice acted. It's one hell of a game where absolutely everything has so much detail attached to it. So I don't know, but I've gotten through one playthrough, cried in the credits of that thing, emotional style. I met a really cool character in in the last episode of it. It makes you character that makes you kind of smile. I can't get through anything without stuttering, can I? Okay, so this face is a facial expression that's going kind of like this. So we're gonna have to readjust the Waluigi, which is the nose inserted into the middle of a Waluigi. All right, so here's what eyeballs are looking like, and a little bit like this as we try to draw a little bit of a Rain and Ida, and we think on the eyebrow flexibility. There's Disco Elysium talks happening as Secretary says the Disco Eliza. I'm so angry that the message didn't send, but now I'm happy because I missed the last stream before the end. There is yeah, there was also the last stream before the end. You were there for the very longest stream of them all. There was that. Alright, here's a little bit of eyes happening, and the eyes can be squunched in some type of joy, and your nose can be like this, and I don't know if I've drawn much cartoon faces with the tongue sticking out, but I want to try it. But I haven't, but there's not like as many references about it. There's River saying, I love when a video game has full voice acting for a full immersion experience. And the amount of text that they had going on in there too was absolutely intimidating. It's longer than Lord of the Rings. There's like saying my previous message isn't sent, but the joke is over already. It doesn't make sense. I said it out. Cursive YouTube censor. Putting some LGBTs in there. ASMR stream before they end forever. Where they're ending for a week. May I put a hat to honor the OC? May I put an esteemed little hat happening right here? An esteemed top hat for an honorable OC, if I may. There's what he's saying, shouted into the mukbang ASMR stream while wearing the full suit and top hat. We don't matter to I feel like it sort of happened piecemeal. If I were to try to attempt to lawyer my way out of this one on my own, on my lonesome, let's look for Ida. Let's look for Adolin Clawthorn characters that I'm drawn to remember which side your pointy tooth is on, and it is in fact on this side, and there can be like this amount of smirk happening. Drawing any amount of tongues always weirds me out. I'm never ready for that. There's a script thicker than the Bible. Absolutely. And in fact, thinking about that is the main thing that made me cry during the credits. Thinking about how unlikely it is for someone's well-written passion project like Disco Elysium to end up totally finished and published and all of that, but they did it. The studio fell apart right afterwards, so they're probably not doing it again. But they did it one time, damn it, and that matters. Alright, here's more of this, here's more of this, here is ears happening with some amount of detail as I go in for this. Okay. This type of hair is fun to draw. They have some really fun to draw types of hair. Alright. And it gets fluffy up in here. Maybe your hair is on one side of your face and your mouth. And then there's hello to Choco Werewolf Hound Brute thing. Talking about 2,763 cake hounds that went to school, and you're the principal. You're the principal. Are they unruly? Or do they respect you? Do they treat you right? How does that go? There's something saying if that stream ever happens, the yodeling pickle has to be the background music on loop till its batteries die. I like eating. I'm a fan of it. I like eating and wearing a suit even. They don't have to happen at the same time, but I'm a fan of both of these things. However, I've now find that idea unappealing. I'm not super into the pickle. Here is more of a hair. Here is more of this happening as I try to put some Ida on ya. Okay, how to make the eyeball look joyful? Okay. It goes like this to create joy. So it's the least you deserve. Talking about a yodel. There's the guy saying, drawing not cool kid and or 007 and 7 because I need to stop. Oh, is it in fact out of your system? Is it in fact all accounted for? Here's some eyeball happening. What happens? What else happens with your eyes? A little bit of this, and that's just a Canon Ida detail. Squunch around the eyes like this for the okay. Every day I learn some more, specifically about how to mess up some arts. Go like this, and okay, it's a little bit too sideways. I don't always have to flip the canvas to figure out how sideways something is. Sometimes I hold these things to be self-evident. Okay, so we're just gonna tilt that over to the side a little bit more. Talking about how half the cake hounds are respectful, and also you need to play Cookie Run Kingdom right now. My gosh, I haven't played it before, but I know everyone's loving it, and lately I've wanted to get better at drawing things for like an exaggerated frilly Valentine style, and a candy type of theme sounds like it is the kind of thing that would help me, academically. All right, so what else is going on here? If I look up cookie, and if I look up run, and if I look up kingdom, RPG. How did I not know that there was RPG stuff going on in here? There's puzzles going on in there, strategies going on in there, and an incredible amount of Waluigi and Wario noses happening. I'm not trying to draw any kind of sus face. Why is that part of my vocabulary? Like you may have suggested you to be just like, I'm trying to draw a fine and aligned face, a perfectly aligned face. I'm trying to draw cool and playful, and I'm trying to draw these. Trying to draw that because look at this. This is a good pose. Is this not a good pose? When someone is taller than you and just sort of goofing it off? What? This is a good pose, and he is not anime girl in the slightest. Even if I'm drawing sort of like this. Okay, so hello to Ronan the Shonen. Silly guy saying that, okay. That is not out, but I need it out. You gotta move on. They make me cry, but tears are temporary. The grind is forever. I feel like I missed just the slightest bit of context in there. I'm moving entire face. Not what I mean to be doing. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hello, what's going on with you today? Ronan the Shonen, what's good in your life today? And as the music continues, I suddenly realize that I meant to cut this off a little bit sooner because all of the extended editions of all of these songs are in here. Meant to cut that off just a little bit sooner. With like setting a limit on it, you know? 5 minutes of the song is perfectly good. Alright, so what are ears made of? I am simply obsessed with elves lately. Simply obsessed with the elf and elf ear and everything. There's Kai saying, "Want to play Cookie Run Kingdom?" Just because of all the art I've seen. Okay, which art is getting you into it the most? I wanna ask, like, humanizations or just the sheer amount of passion that exists around it, because I feel like I haven't seen humanizations particularly, but the amount of passion that a community is having does tend to draw one in. Alright, so there's your hair, and your head is tilted. Something emerges up here. Ooh, most interesting. I may not be able to identify characters quite well, but, however, it's looking quite interesting. There's the guy saying drunk things in a really exaggerated, really Valentine manner. May I suggest Love Shot Duskar? Okay, wait. If I look that up, right about now, is it going to enlighten my mind on these things that I wish to draw? Okay, there you go. And then if I look up skin afterwards. That's pretty frilly. It's pretty frilly, not gonna lie. Got a little bit of fan arts going on for it too. I keep pulling up images on my phone, which is not necessarily the recommended way to do that, but just to share for the individuals who did not look that up on my phone. That's a good color scheme. That's a good color scheme. Filling around. What are you up with? What are you doing? All right. So you're saying, by the way, I won the Wednesday raffle yesterday. Google chose me, so shut up. I'm ready to tell you what you have to draw for me because I won the raffle yesterday. Me, YouTube user Signic Williams. Oh, okay. Well, just to validate it, which Wednesday meme did you send on a Wednesday? Just to be so valid right now. Just to be so above board right now. Just to be perfectly understanding on how it all works right now. Which meme was it exactly? To qualify, here's more of an arm happening, but your arms are like kind of pointy. Your neck is like going like this. We can put it downward a little bit. God, what are spines made out of? What are spines made out of? What are shoulders made out of? And you have to look at the images of the characters you're drawing to really make it make sense. Okay. This happens. All of the army and the leggy happening. Okay. If I'm doing more than one sketch for things that are being sketched, it's definitely to map out the hair. The map out the hair goes a little bit like this. A little bit like that, but also a little bit like this. This is so distinctive. Such a distinctive sort of hair, and kind of like a bird as well. Okay, there's one bit of it happening, and there's short-haired options if I wanted. There is short-haired options if I wanted to figure that out. Every day I think some more. There's like saying, how could you forget the amazing meme I sent? I did it myself. It was a handmade meme. Once in a lifetime edition. Had to delete it because it was a unique experience and it doesn't exist now. Bureaucratically, I think we might be dying. There's. Are you breaking out into song to understand the drawings? To understand. Love the vibes. Loving the vibes indeed. There is no amount of song that cannot express one's true emotions. Here we go with the with the specially portioned amounts of songs within an extended edition. Alright. Shoulders and things as well. Well, now, YouTube is just like, I can only begin to imagine. What excellent meme must have been there. Oh my god, you're belting it. Oh my god. I love this sort of representation of a song. Here is more of this. And do I want arms to have this bit of detail? Might as well have your arm bones showing. We're showing arm bones. Third drawing. What do we look at? You're going you going over here? Shall you do something tiny style or big style maybe? Here's a very tiny smiley face to have things getting started over on the canvas number 3. Alright, a little bit of this. You're saying draw an object show with anything you like. I really wonder sometimes when the options run thin. I don't think that I ever okay, some plants are like an option, right? Plants are an option. I'm maybe a little bit of an expert around these parts. Okay. I've got some plants on my windowsill, and they are finally the right color. All of my plants were turning the wrong color before this, which if you think of your house plants as your little child's, it's a terrible thing to say about them. So here's a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And basically they're not rotting anymore. The babies are not rotting anymore. This is excellent news. I'm a great mother of plants, basically. There's the guy saying, if the concept of yin and yang can get turned into an object, show character, why can't a plant? I feel like some of the concepts should give you powers in an object show. Not that there's much logic being followed necessarily. Alright, some of the little plants happening. You could probably get really specific with object shows. You could probably have one that's entirely plants or something. But if you get too specific, then is it even technically an object show anymore? Alright. So here is an excellent succulent happening. The correct color. The non-rotting, vibrant green little baby plant. They needed to be watered way less. When the skin gets a little wrinkly and dehydrated, that's their way of asking for some water. A little bit like this. But if you water them sooner, if you water them before that, then mold grows on them, which they hate and take very poorly to. Alright, a little bit of this, a little bit going on like this. You're in a tub, sort of. A little bit rare to be two things stuck together in terms of object shows, but that's what happens. Yeah, wow. I didn't think that the ones in the smallest containers, the baby food jar, the glass yogurt jar, and the sauce dipping container. The sauce dipping container actually has the biggest one. That was supposed to be temporary because the bottom of the plant started rotting, so I cut off the top of the plant, and it's still there. It is still there. Very, very big, even perks up sometimes. The stalk of planthony will be remembered. Oh, well, if the one in the baby food jar is thriving, I don't remember putting a different one in there. That might still be planthony, honestly. It's a little bit hard to keep track amidst all the corpses, honestly. And getting specific, I want you to draw a portrait of me. It could be a doodle. If you don't want to do too much detail, just don't forget to draw the 25k plus heads and limbs that are visible, each one wearing a different hat or bow. So you know how I've been doing a daily self-portrait YouTube users, I think. You know how I've been self-portraiting around. I hate to acquiesce so quickly, but perhaps I've retroactively some sort of retconning, sort of correcting that I've actually conjoined to you already. And so I've already made like a lot of progress on this drawing. You just didn't notice yet. You weren't even sure yet. Weren't even observing it yet. Maybe. All right. Here is a detail happening. This is certainly too much detail I'm putting in here. It feels right though. It feels right to me though. All right. Get some gravel happening, because this is how it works. This is what you do. This is how it is. This is if an object has other objects just sort of inside of it, is that weird if they're like carried around together? I don't necessarily mean to make things weird up in here, but I do mean to put a layer of dirt on everything. Top 10 hobbies and pastimes, put a layer of dirt on it. A little bit like this, a little bit like this, and then there's saying it's two characters in one body, so they aren't normal. Oh, I was getting detail, but as I was fixating on the dirt, the details, the real details were being revealed. A little bit of this happening. I've tested out so many configurations of these plants now. I wasn't sure if they needed soil to live, because they kept having molds in their soil and rots and things like that. So I thought maybe they didn't need soil to live, but they do. As it turns out, they get sunburn and stuff on their roots actually, and they're not a big fan of that. The sun, okay, a little bit like this. Yeah, this is definitely a bit too much detail. And then they're saying, that's why you're doing them in post-it notes, to stick them all together in the end in a huge conjoined collage. I feel like it's in some ways inevitable. There's sort of a shambling amalgamation of these portraits happening right next to me. Okay, a little bit of light can be shown. Light happening like this, which is certainly too much detail. But next you want to have a little bit of roots going on. That's the biggest bee I've ever seen. No, okay, it was normal. It was okay. The lighting didn't look right, so just put some roots happening in there, in this glass container, all around. Everybody love each other, and maybe since there's like a strange amount of detail here, this is a weird little family. They're like all holding on to each other. Or is it funnier if they are roommates, because then they can threaten to leave each other. Alright, you could maybe all be roommates, but your room is also a dude. Okay, you go over here like this. Here's your eyeballs. Little bit of happy pea mouth, and then there's Kai saying, "Look too fast, thought it was coffee jelly." I want to believe that it's possible that there could be a really cute sort of dessert that looks like this. There's been some damn cute desserts in the world. It would make sense. It would make sense. It would make sense. All right, let's keep adding faces. The jar is having one, sort of keeping it all together, and let's actually put a face on the soil as well. You could say that that's maybe too many faces. You making a candy apple there? That feels more in the spirit of an object show. I am getting a little bit weird. I'm getting a little bit weird in these details happening right up over here. Okay, get rid of the roots because it's messing up the amount of detail. And now we can put some eyes. And I want the glass to be deeply tired, I think. Sometimes when you're coming up with a character, you just know that it's deeply tired. Alright. Okay, maybe you can show that it's in the glass by having the eyes being blue. Are mushrooms happening? Mushrooms happening. Alright, so here's the eyes. And you're gonna look tired. You're a glass. How do you look tired? Dunno. But it makes sense now. It makes sense now with a certain level of detail and a certain level of add the little bit of thing here. A little bit of a mouth, a little bit of a eyebrows for tiredness. And you can all observe each other. And you can all look at each other. Mushrooms. Oh god. Oh god. Molds and funguses. Molds and funguses coming to threaten this roommate sort of arrangement of people who care about each other. Here is a cheery sort of a dirt. The dirt is always thirsty, I want to say. Some thirsty dirt. And here's some way to personify everything that goes on in here. Wow. I'm making conjoined OCs in 2025. YouTube users like, who knew that I would in fact be so on board? It only took a little bit of talking about it. It only took a little bit of getting used to the idea of the great conjoinment. But wow, my golly, my gosh, we got there. Here's a dirt. You know. That's my first idea. That's my first thought. But keeping it simple, relegating it to two things, just sort of the container and the contents. I feel like that's enough. I feel like that has enough going on. The killer of molds. How devastating. You mind if you hold a terrifying knife happening? It's a murder weapon for murdering. Not to frame you of things, but this is a killer. This is so the killer. It's like he's saying, where'd you get those plants in the first place? Didn't they tell you how to care for them, or did you rip them out of their natural environment like a monster? I've had the option sometimes to rip something out of its natural environment like a monster. Every day there's choices that you can make, and I just never happened to choose that. Anyway, yeah, this used to be my brother's, actually. All of his, lasted a long time, but eventually died. Get some outlines on this. What was here? Ooh, remember to add limbs. Ooh, thank you. Almost forgot the limbs. Okay, you can't have armless characters sometimes. Ooh, is it Is it a little bit weird if only this fellow has the limbs, so it has to hand stuff to the one up top? Here you go with this. Just sort of this arm sort of arrangement. Alright, let's put a little bit of an outline on things. Why not? Why not outlining things to look totally sharp, to look totally put together, to look totally with it. And then there's several details. Yeah, I'm not sure how much outline I like on it. Maybe that much outline, just a little bit. And there's this is the great conjoinment, completely confidential. Well, I fear there may have been some mishaps in memory. I may have been given clearance on all of the highest projects, not just the great conjoinment. So if you would like to just really quick list all of them, then this is going to be a perfect act of having the right clearance for things, and no questions needed to be asked with everything. Alright, a little bit of shine goes in the glass, and a little bit of shine like this also makes up some glass. You are a very shiny glass. Alright, the amount of detail definitely got kind of weird, but I definitely feel like that's some kind of a friend, some kind of a buddy. Dismissing, you're saying there's plenty of limbless object show characters, don't worry. Then okay, wait, I looked at my own drawing wrong. You were mistaking it for coffee jelly earlier, but now I'm mistaking it for the object show version of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. Huh. Not really what I had in mind, but if you're carrying a green thing and it's kind of baby, you're gonna think about a Baby Yoda eventually. Then there's some things missed in the chat, I believe. Alright, you're saying the coffee jelly fungus has a face. Ooh. I swear they're not fungal. I swear they're not fungal yet. I swear they The sad thing is, the container survives. The little friend does not. The soil may not even survive. Alright, I've made one object show character, keeping each other company. In fact, 2 of them. In fact, there's 3 of them, all hanging out. Some red, yellow, green is coming together. I'm liking the subtle character color choices. So let's put together a little bit more of this drawing. I think I opened too many reference images on my phone and started to confuse myself. Let's do a little bit more over here. Okay, what exactly confuses me about arms? What exactly confuses me about arm? Not much. Okay, the crease doesn't always have to be visible. The shoulders are significant. That is some classic Ida character design. The elbow is like in the middle of the arm viewed from this way, and there can be a little line telling you which side is the front, middle, and back. And then you go on to hands. And then there's a little bit of sobs at the built-in tragedy. Top 10 times to sheepishly look over at my houseplants and the specific 4 of them that are kind of a graveyard. I thought I was gonna grow so many of them. I thought I was gonna grow a bazillion of them, but I don't know. Before I parsed them down a little bit, because they were getting very big, I had seriously flourishing 6 of them. Let's get some hands, figure out the hands. Goes a little bit like this, and this one big knuckle for fingers there. It's like saying, quick surprise check. Show the screensaver of your foldable phone external screen. You have 5 seconds. Well, I may have 5 seconds. Zah. What? 5 seconds to look at it too, apparently. There's ASMR. Every bit of ASMR that I have done has been completely accidental. It's still but indeed, that's still up in there. That's still very much up in there. I hadn't thought about it for a second how the gamer version of me, that's one thing that I forgot in the final stream of the Disco Elysium. I think that I got, there's like 30-ish videos in that series, but in this very last one, in this last finale of one, I forgot my face paints. I was just in that kind of a weird rush, wanting some continuity in all of it. Alright. What is hand made of? First, hand is made of overall shape. Hand is made of overall shape. And the overall shape goes like that, with one little fingy going like this. Every time I'm bad at drawing hands, I feel like I'm voicing the internal dialogue of how AI would have been before it learned to draw hands. Just the constant struggle. Do we put an extra finger? Do we remove a thumb? I don't know. I've never seen a hand before in my life. There's a Eugene Jordan saying hello to you. The topic of the stream can be whatever you like it to be, and I'll try to respond to it. Although, as you can see, I get a little distracted sometimes. We had some object show. Let's put some hearts on the arts in appreciation. I have the settings of this brush absolutely wild. This is what maximum jitter looks like. Even some hearts on the murderous fungus. That's how that'll go. And hello. Last stream when you said hello, I said that I didn't know how to read your alphabet username, but then over here you were Stepna, I think. Is that how that one is said too? But hello to you. There's saying congratulations on the ASMRs, and winning them due to the phone background, one might say. There's yeah, if I were even capable of, I don't know, finding, I don't know, like other GIF art, other interesting things, I doubt I would put one there, because that one is like personalized. It's personalized. It's the thing. It's the thing to have. Dear Jordan saying, I like your art so much. Oh my goodness. Why, thank you. well, you know, it's also a group draw. So we must surely have not only a face, but also another face of wonderful participation. Hello to you, Cosmozoan. It's what's on your mind in terms of creativity and everything. There is red Waluigi happening. In fact, a little bit of mischief may happen occasionally. Okay, I did very much click loop on this one this time. It's just choosing not to do it to me. We've got several Serious Sam video game soundtracks into our most excellent playlist. Alright, let's do some fingers delineations. Figure it out. Like this. Okay, so it is step. Hey, I've learned slightly. Well, thank you for telling me. There's a little bit of a three face with a wink in it from Eugene Jordan. For some reason for some reason that emoticon, it tastes like salmon to me in a good way. I might have just gotten randomly hungry and then just sort of latched that thought onto the what you typed. I'll try not to do that. I'll try not to do that. There's like he's saying, did you get a copyright letter from the amazing soundtrack I recommended the other day? If not, can I suggest? Yeah, I don't think we got it for that one. In fact, I think I left the funkiest one right up here in this playlist. The other ones, for whatever reason, I hadn't gotten much into them. You're saying the canvas seems longer than last time. Oh yeah, it's long mode. It's time for a long time. We're long time for a good time. I should not form sentences as if I'm having a stroke, because sometimes... When did I leave this on my desk? Because sometimes it will make it seem as if I'm having a stroke. Hello to Nerdburp. Hello, how are you today? What's good in your life? Here is learning to draw a little bit more hands, which are made of fingers, which are made of pain. But we're also going to put the very sharp and awesome nails of this character in particular. Sharp and awesome nails. Alright, go like this, go like this. I took a... Is that a really small... Is that a really small smiley face in the style of Sans the Skeleton or something? How excellent. I took a art class... I've taken 2 art classes, but the first one that I completed and was very useful. One of the first assignments was drawing hands, just to sort of get the fear out of the way. Alright, that looks more like a hand. Better silhouette happening. I might make the overall thing smaller. There's... Did you enjoy this? You're so entertaining. Hey, why thank you for a compliment. I don't know what an entertainment quality may be made of in the natural way of speaking, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take compliments. There's some hellos being said. Stepna is saying, speaking of which, me and my friend finally played Forsaken today. It's so fun. Hey, the silly guy, the artistic propagandas, positive connotation, worked. They worked. You've gotten people into the games. My goodness. Now, you've played this game before. Alright, we're shrinking this a little bit for the hands to try to keep things proportional in proportion to the hands. I'm gonna try, but I don't know if I'm gonna succeed. Which doesn't mean ever that you should stop trying as an artist. It just means that you're gonna do it while being afraid. Just means you're gonna do it while being afraid. Alright, what else is a hand made of? It's made of this. We might try that more than one time. Because I'm not quite sure. We might put a shoulder kind of like that. Okay, something is proportionally a little bit weird in here. Something is proportionally a little bit messing with me. Okay, go like this, go like that. Is that a hand now? Every day I wake up and I start to break up. Lonely is my art skills, not knowing any other art skills. Okay, and there's random cursed thought, Twink Wario. I'm gonna figure that out right now. I went into a little bit of a fugue state, exaggeration of me to say, but a kind of a fugue state starting Tuesday night sort of through Wednesday, looking up images of femboy fashion, so I am equipped to draw. I am now equipped to draw Twink Wario. We're gonna want to start with, I say as if narrating ingredients in a recipe. We're gonna want to start with image of Wario. And of course, this is an honored, esteemed member of what might be the bear community. I don't know, they're not really taking his shirt off, so we're not really detecting levels of hair here. So, so I'm not quite there. There's... Am I being... Wait, did I say the autistic connotation? What day is that? That's today's date. Did I say that just now? Okay. There's quitting the arts. Hello to the shady gray. Hello. What's on your mind today? What's happening with you? I'm about to draw Twink Wario. I am about to do this. There's a couple of options that one has before really committing to it. You could not. You could reconsider. You could do anything. You'd call it a family recipe. Kai saying it's quitting art month. The month after next month is art fight. I think I'm gonna be in summer classes that are kind of hard, so I don't know how much art fight I have in me, but it was fun last year, and I didn't overcommit or anything. I just drew other people's characters and had a fun time. That was art fight. You gotta love it. You gotta put some more pointy on the elbows. This is Shady Gray saying, why are you drawing this? I haven't actually started here. This is actually just a completely independent Wario. Alright, do I start with face or do I start with pose? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. I did say that just now. What? I should be aware of things that I'm saying. The artistic connotation. Because I feel like I was talking about artism, but I don't know. Okay, that's gonna have to clip. There's the Shady Gray saying, "How are you?" Well, the "how am I" is in a little bit of a fugue state, looking up a lot of reference images. I still have my phone. We're gonna pick the most twinkish one. We're gonna pick the most twinkish one for Wario to be. Yeah, alright. Here we go. And then there's the talk of a thick fanboy Mario. There's options. There's the Shady Gray saying, I prefer seeing Fanboy Nightmare Sans. There's a lot of preferences to be preferred now, aren't there? Alright, we're gonna zoom in for this actually. Am I on a new layer? We're gonna commit to things. We're gonna actually name this war layer because it's yes. So there's the guy saying, you said after someone brought up Forsaken to me. Why can't I remember things? First I sound like ASMRs, and now I'm being quoted as of today. Like, if it was a different day, then I could see it. But I'm being quoted as of today on the autistic connotation. Okay, so there's there's a lot of art options being arted. Let's go. There's Labubu. You're saying the word Labubu, if it is as if it is a word in there. There's dolls. There is dolls and keychains. It's kind of cute in here. It's kind of getting pretty cute in here, not gonna lie. Alright, so we get a little bit of your incredibly fierce pose. But I feel like the thing to do is to keep the face more or less the same. Yeah, okay, let's keep the face more or less the same, as we have a tiny instance. You're gonna want the right amount of nose. which is not usually the portion where I start in drawing a body. You're gonna want the right amount of eyebrows. That's another thing I was looking up non-stop in my Wednesday, Tuesday night fugue state. Looking up thick eyebrows. Here we go. Go like this. Have the certain amount of it. Are you outdoing me by drawing an even tinier Wario? Alright, so go like this. Go like this. Look you in the eyes. Kind of like this. And your incredible grin, it remains unchanged, or even enhanced if I will, as a little Wario emerges, and it shall in fact be one of the littlest forms of a Wario. Alright, we want actually a little bit of detail for in between the teeth, because that's how you add intensity. A little bit of detail between the teeth. Yeah, I think I actually thought about that as one of my early art mistakes in trying to figure out how to draw things. Outlining in between every single tooth can make things a bit creepy. What? Mustache. Okay, this is blurring together a little bit. We've drawn the teeth for nothing because it's all together. Alright, a little bit like this. The downsides of drawing a bit small. Okay, that line makes sense. This additional squiggle makes sense as we start to cook up a time-honored family recipe of Wario on the canvas. Okay, you get a little bit of your cheeks, and this is certainly not as small of a drawing as I thought it was going to be. Alright, get a little bit like this, a little bit of a visor hatch, drew that for the Forsaken Elliot, practiced drawing a visor on that. You can take that W. I should turn down the jitter slightly. Should turn that down. You can still have a certain amount, but here's what happens. Perfect geometric W's. Please God, why? Draw cat-made nightmare. Extremely important types of fan art, I may say. This feels extremely honorable, I will say. I'm behind the idea completely, and my language is so exaggerated now you might think that I'm being sarcastic. I assure you, I don't mess around when it comes to cat-made femboy, and perhaps even sans. Alright, so here's your hair, and the eyebrows are not quite having the intended effect because we need to lower the visor. There's... Okay, so the full context for Kai and La Boo Boo is that they are scary, but there are One Piece ones. You're not falling for the propaganda. Full context. There's Shady Grace saying, "Ping me on Discord when if you draw Nightmare again." I mean, I may draw more Undertale characters at the... That's what's in my mind. Drawing some more Undertale characters for whatever purposes. I will say I've been slightly influenced by my girlfriend on this idea, and I can't say that I hate the influence. It's a good influence. It's a good influence indeed. Alright, this face is made of face, and we want the chin to be made of also face. God. Okay, round, yes. Chin kinda cheeked up, two booty cheeks out, kinda chin, like this. One ear visible. Presumably there are two ears, but one is visible. Here's the angle. Okay, you have some hair sticking out of your hat, and then your face is Your face is rounded up to the ear. What am I doing? Rounded up to the ear. What am I doing exactly? Like this? Sure. That's Alright, well, I thought that this was going to be a smaller drawing, but it's going to be exactly the same as every other thing I've ever drawn. Zodiac saying the only official merch I'll ever buy, and you've made me read this with my eyes, and I don't have to read it out loud, but you said, Waluigi flashlights. Huh? Huh? What type of mental image am I being committed to right now? Oh God. Oh my lord. Silly guy saying, draw Metaton EX and my life is yours. I did want to know how I draw each of the characters stylistically. Alright, let's put only a little bit of body on this thing. I say, calling Twink Waluigi a type of thing. Ugh. Okay, go a little bit like this. Go a little bit to the side. You know we are posed up. I think we're gonna keep it kind of sketchy, or I don't know. Okay. You start with the neck. The exact same facial features, but the neck is going to be significantly more neck than you have in canon. That's what's going on so far. A little bit of this happening. Okay, please. Every time I try to draw something without blocking it out first, I encounter various types of failure. Okay, so the torso goes like this. Torso goes like this, but also we got the pose kind of like this, and that has implications for rib placement and where you gonna put the booty. Okay, like this, and we are in fact going to be giving Twink Waluigi some cute shorts, I think. I'm probably going to figure out if that's themed or not. Alright, a little bit like this. Okay, what is the shape of a leg? The shape of a leg goes tapered. Shape of a leg goes like this. Okay, I don't know what legs are shaped like, and I'm sad about it, and I don't know what legs are shaped like, but I keep learning about legs every single day. Legs, what's on the menu? I am in fact going to be so ready to drop Metaton EX. Then there's... You're gonna put some asterisks on your Waluigi merch pronouncements. You're gonna put some asterisks on that. Okay. There's saying the special flashlight. You remember the ultra super secret chat flashlight idea. It's a figurine that flashes light. The one special flashlight that surprisingly, yes, I remember. Surprisingly, you're not talking wacky on me. That's a real thing. That's a real secret check kind of a thing. Alright, get your other shoulders out here. I wanna know what twinks are made of. I have to see how they work in general. Okay, here is an arm. Your arm can go outward like this. Don't overthink that too much. Okay, the rest of your torso, it's totally fine if it goes like that, but the shoulder has to be a little bit more back. That's what's happening in this pose. Your arm is going like this, and in fact perhaps even interfering with the smallest type of Wario. So what's happening? Alright, a little bit of this happening, and your hand can go such as this. Okay, a little bit like this, a little bit like this is a type of fingy poses in arts, and thumbs. thumbs exist as well. Every day I learn some more. Alright. So, there we go. Outfit-wise, I think I've straightened it out. Because there was more going on. There was actually more going on. And I think in order to correct this, I will be dislocating homie's entire spine. Sorry, brosif, your spine is going places. My condolences. Okay, a little bit like this. Is that straightened out or not straightened out? It's something. It is something. So that's what you meant. A flashlight, a type of a Waluigi flashlight, and a flashlight. They have one left. We set up the strike and we hit it perfectly. God damn. I'm susceptible to humor in text. I'm susceptible to reading textual humors. My God. Alright, a little bit like this is what's happening. And there's some kind of this going on. Some kind of I take so long to draw the reference image, my phone naturally falls asleep. Alright, there's, for collectionism only reasons, of course, collections, collecting. Okay, I have almost figured out anatomy, slightly, maybe, once and for all, in the process of getting distracted a million times and so technical that we will truly, well and truly, forget that we've committed to drawing Twink Wario. Okay, there's necks. Necks are something that happen. And it all makes sense. Peace and love. Peace and love on planet Earth. I've really messed up his face too. There's not one part of this artisanal process that is going unscathed. Alright, so I wanted for this to be quite smooth and simple. Not too much detail going on in here. Alright, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of, we know where a collarbone is and what it does. And boy howdy, you better rest assured I'm gonna have some adorable outfits for you. And by adorable outfits, I mean purple overalls. There we go. Alright, so that's following the neckline of the Fat Boy reference picture. Okay, goes like this. Goes like this. Goes also like this. And then this is a perfectly adorable, cute top, and we're going to make this into overalls. Huh. I said it, but I'm going to feel a little bit sad about it. Alright. Overalls are happening, and I know what they are made of. Do I know what they are made of? And if you draw Twink Wario, does he just look like a Waluigi? And did I get them mixed up at some part in this process? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, overalls are happening, sort of combined with this distinctive and esteemed amphibians in the canvas happening. Sure, I would love to see amphibians. I would love to see, woo! Now this is cool. This is awesome, oh my gosh. Look at these, look at these skins, oh my gosh. I love a good pumpkin-headed character. Although it could be a helmet for all I know, not knowing much context aside. There's life and death and love and birth and peace and war on the planet Earth happening. My gosh. There's getting docs in the artworks. Honestly, honestly, nothing in the canvas feels safe exactly. Nothing in the canvas feels safe exactly. Alright. So, prove an amount of twinkness. Yeah, okay, we're drawing tummy. And then they're saying, is that a thin Wario? That's fatphobia, Jaro. Am I have to scroll back up to the I'm going to deflect. I'm gonna deflect. I'm deflecting. That let it be known that I'm simply taking a suggestion of a cursed thought of Twink Wario. I'm simply taking a suggestion of a cursed thought. Would I ever have a cursed thought myself? I can neither confirm nor deny this without my lawyer present. I can neither do either one. There we go. This is being added to the list of crimes. I'm sorry. I'm regretting. And yet, the curse continues. We can keep continuing in a curse manner. Okay, so do I know where everything is on here? I guess you start with I did say that there were going to be cute shorts happening, and that's what's happening in following the random cursed thought of Twink Wario. Oh my gosh. There were frogs. Holy heck! Something so tiny was happening that I just kind of assumed. That maybe I knew what was going on there in Tinyville. I didn't know a lick of what was going on there. I didn't know anything of what was going on there. Alright. Cuteness can continue happening because that's the type of reference picture that I had up naturally. Okay, a little bit of this happening. I check over here to see which songs were going on. Vocal versions of songs. Alright. So, and then the cute sort of outfit references continue. I will be able to draw. One day I will be able to draw. Sometimes. Right now I don't quite feel as though I am able to draw. Alright, so going like this is what's happening. This is less than the reference image, actually. We're gonna fix it up. I still do want to switch between drawings, although I've gone off on this incredible tangent. There we go. This one is more like the reference image. I had drawn some hip. Alright, you are I feel very uncomfortable with the energy created in this studio today. And yet, should I just trust you? Should I just trust what you're doing? Oh my god, another frog. Oh dear lord, another frog. Should I just trust you for essence of Wario Waluigi type of things? He's asking how are the brushes so good. I have the settings over here. Gosh, which brush am I in? Okay, first you click on this, and then to get it all sketchy like this, I turned the jitter setting up to 100%. But other than that is the default ink brush. Oh, right, and then minimum size 0. We got the drawing tablet out here. Minimum size 0, so when you press light, it's like that, and when you press tougher, it's like that. There we go. Okay, so this has disrupted my thoughts very, 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 very much. As literally saying, I can only imagine regular weight Wario wearing a cut jean short, getting stuck between the weapons like a G-string. This is what psychiatrists call intrusive thoughts. Hey, Why not invite the thoughts into everyone's head? Is what we're saying today, I think. Hello to you, Hiding Sake. Yeah, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to stream today, but luckily I miscalculated when I am going to leave. So that is no streams next week, but I am not quite out of the house yet. Yeah. I was not up to date on the travel plans that I am being put through, but we're gonna be put through them. We're gonna be put through them. My various suggestions of artworks are happening up in here, and in fact, tiny frogs are happening up in here. It feels very appropriate to make a little tiny frog. Alright, what colors do I want from a frog? I want this color from a frog. And I wanna put this together. There's you silly guy called it the stream that definitely isn't my fault. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would be here. Okay. A message from silly guy convinced me. Okay, so here is a leg. Frog legs are happening. And I've added frog legs. This is how I shall make a frog. This is how I shall make a frog. Goes just like this. And in fact, you can stick out your little froggy tongue. And it's gonna go just like that. Honestly, I've seen some slow motion footage of a frog sticking its little frog tongue out. And it's less like the cartoons than I thought. Way less like the cartoons. There's guy saying Wario looks like he's about to sing espresso. Me, everyone know, isn't that sweet? I guess so. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of getting lethally cute out here. Kind of getting intensely. Alright, I do also want to put, I'm losing my train of thought 1,000,000 times over, but I do also want to put a Mettaton. My girlfriend watching the stream sent a pink diamond Wario. I love you, baby. I love you so much. Pudding. Yeah. Okay. Let's put a little key smash on that one. I try to comprehend. You telling me you haven't drawn a thing in literal years? No, it's turned out. It's turned out. It did turn out. I'm definitely gazing upon a Wario. Yes. So you're saying I'm already here in your grandma's house. Why didn't you tell me it'll take you several days to even start the tree? I didn't know things. Silly guy. I feel like you've sent that type of a message before. I think I mentioned it one day. And then you sent that exact message. And now I've mentioned it another day, and then you've also sent that exact message. It's I've got a psychic girlfriend that erases herself in your mind. I've got a psychic girlfriend that erases herself in your mind. There's I have her permission to show the cursed Wario. If you haven't drawn in years, then why has it turned out so? Why? We get some sketches. We share some sketches up at here. Will the camera focus on me? To show the excellent images? Well, indeed it does. What I'm learning, what I'm looking and learning, is that the mustache is one of the defining features. It's one of the defining features that we cannot forget in here, that we cannot understate nor emphasize. I love you. I love you so much. There's okay. They're saying your girlfriend is a real one-year keeper, truly a meme queen. But don't keep in basement. Oh, no worries about being kept in the basement. Okay. Did you just tell me to marry Pink Diamond Wario and also girlfriend at the same time? I am so emotionally overwhelmed by this idea. I don't know what to say. I think you've drawn the hat quite well. I think it's turned out. I think it's okay. Like visor hats. Am I drawing more than one visor hat? No, they're just appearing around here. Visor hats. Okay. No, it's extremely easy to beef them because you're looking at them head on, and so it's like a taco logic as what goes on here, a little bit like this. I think you're seeing the front side of it, the back side of it. I just ordinary stream, but I look at my phone and start having an entire conversation with girlfriend. you know, I cannot object to wondrous happenstances. Okay, I have a Metaton. A Metaton EX on the mind. And if I'm drawing, if I want the art style that I drew a Sans in to be the in general art style, I think that means I'm gonna give this robot actual hair. I feel like there's maybe an argument. I don't know. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I have played Undertale, so in my head, maybe the hair of Metaton could be a metal flap. I don't know. The smaller sprite does not suggest that. I'm gonna merge this down. Gonna just flatten all of these layers to make them a little bit easier to deal with for me. And then I'm gonna start a ton of metting. I'm gonna met a ton. Alright. There's Hijinks Arcade. Putting if you want to see the Disco Smasher pass with the spoiler characters. Having finally finished Disco Elysium, we can now smash or pass every single character in here. Okay, wait, I think it may have, if it did, it may have saved my progress in Google Chrome, in which case I will close out of this, go right on here, fix the settings if the settings were unfixed. I don't quite know. Alright, yeah, it did save my progress. Alright, so there's like a marriage tier. There's like people that I'm really scared of. Ugh. God, I've been thinking over this weird freak of a man. I've been thinking over this guy. He takes his distance. He's at the end of his rope. He refuses to be regular about Harry Dubois and just sort of spies on him in a wig and sunglasses. What kind of person does this? Well, I don't know. It was in the middle of him like grilling at the finale of the game last night. It's easy to say, hey, here's this jerk, who cares for you? But he still takes your arm. He still puts your body weight on him and helps you back into the vehicle after you were traipsing around all day. And that feels symbolic, that he still takes a little bit of care for your horrible bleeding bullet wounds. This is all of that. Okay, you're saying the new character should be at the end. You're saying now that you've played the whole game, who's the very regular bald man? Oh, the completely normal bald man who's the most normal bald man ever to exist in a photograph? Is that one Captain Price? He's told me a little bit about the red and black. You're saying people either love or hate Gene, I think. There you go. And okay. Is it really Captain Price up in here? I'm forgetting things a million miles a minute. I love how artistic all of these are. Oh, sweet God. Wait, did I still not meet this interesting face, or did this show up? Okay, and then we've met the bug. I do love the bug. It was really great to meet the bug. We can have bug marriage. That was pretty nice. Stepna saying, anyway, gonna go to sleep now. Was too shy to draw anything, but it was still fun being here. Hey, it was fun seeing ya. Fun seeing ya for just a second. Fun visiting. Have a good sleep, as opposed to having a bad sleep, which is something that would not be said to another person. So it's strange that I would specify that. Bye to you. There's asking if there's a Rick from Rick and Morty. Is there? Is a Rick happening? I do say several individuals in here do look Rickish. They do. And also it's strange to interpret this about whether this is like the dream version of Dolores Day or just the actual thing. It's strange to differentiate. There's Hijinks Arcade saying also one of those new characters you haven't actually seen because she's from the Moralist political quest, but that's fine. It's a moral intern radio person that you can communicate with. Huh. If I started one from scratch, then I think I would try the moralism. I do wonder if that freaks out Kim less than starting your own communisms, because he doesn't seem to approve of starting your own communisms. Starting communism to Electric Boogaloo. He doesn't seem to approve of this most interesting route in a game. At the same time, if he's more on the moralist side, does that necessarily mean that if you get ultra moralist, then he's like about it, then he's into it? Huh, most interesting. Instant marriage to the Phasmid. It doesn't get much easier knowing them. It doesn't get much easier knowing. It is funny knowing the full context for Trant now, and seeing that I had put that in Smash Tier. Alright, so what else was I looking at as I try to have more than one thought at the same time, thinking my thoughts? How does that go? How does that work? How does it work to have more than one? What are you doing? In the Discord server, someone is sending Dwayne the Croc Johnson. God, I forgot this image was up. If we look over here real quick, and there's Fetal Princess Bubblegum, we also have Dwayne the Croc Johnson. Every day I feel more emotions, new emotions, and I zoom 100% of the way into the Discords. Alright, more emotions, new emotions. What else do I want to put it here? I want to admire artworks of a hooded figure. Look at this. Put your eyes on it. I'm still in the pencil, aren't I? I'm still using the pencil. Put your eyes on this for the admiration. It's been too long since we've playfully drawn a weird little face attempting to absorb the artworks through through taking a lick of it. There's silly guy saying, I've been sitting here doing a whole handful of nothing. Someone give me another Forsaken character. Ooh, okay, like who's the most likely to do something cute? get recognized, Anya, in 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 strange scribbles that are in fact appreciatively doing a lick of the art. And then there's saying, what would happen if you travel back in time to 2005 and show that Croc Johnson meme to a regular person? He was still alive back then. He was still alive back then, and he was already famous, I want to say. So someone would probably get it. I feel like in 2005, people could still be weird. There's okay, the most likely to be cute would be the children, aka cool kid, princess, so most likely to be cute, but also most likely to have the strength of 4 men and crush a windpipe with a fist. You know, thinking it over, maybe that's the definition of uwu kawaii so adorable. Maybe. You just think these things over and you find definitions where you didn't know that there were definitions. I'm looking at a picture of Dwayne the Croc Johnson. I'm seeing somebody in the meme channel getting an autism diagnosis next Monday. Good luck to you, Mr. Crayon Muncher Man! Exclamation point. Alright, so I am looking at images and photos to try to see if I know what Metaton is made of. I don't know if I know. Okay, sketchy sort of style is what I could start with, but I like to block out the shapes, and then I have so many interesting reference images downloaded, one of which was from the middle of a Charlie Chaplin ice skating routine. It could do that. There's the instructions to draw Star Walkers. Oh, most interesting. Okay. This is the... I feel like I made such a decisive title for this stream. Stop collecting reference images and just draw one. Just draw one. It's time to draw things. You're gonna draw one. You draw. It's just absolutely hitting the character limit on these YouTube stream titles that try to express what I'm feeling. Okay, some of these... Okay, there we go. I did, in fact, have the appropriate reference images for a Metaton. Sort of voguing it up a little bit. Sort of getting it there. And you've just written out, knowing Alphys, do you think Metaton is anatomically correct? Hey, it doesn't even stop there. I think Metaton is anatomically customizable, swap and switch and whatever. And in fact, that's kind of proven at the end credits of Undertale, not to imply that something wild happened in the end credits of Undertale necessarily. But you get the box form, and then the legs pop out because you know what's up. You know what is up. You know what the people are here for. And so that sort of implies a swap and switch around type of a vibe. Alright, so that also reminds me that I cannot forget the legs. Whatever else I'm doing with the pose, we have got to be legged up. Okay. Kind of like this. There's Jinx Arcade. Comment on the Disco Elysium Smasher Pass. I would totally marry Ruby as well. Or at least smash. I mean, badass butch lesbian trucker who is also a super smart tech genius. She just seems like a really chill person. So very much indeed. Na, 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 na. It's strange to think about the like she's having this absolute genius sorts of qualities, geniusing it up. I hope that in the playthroughs where she escapes, I hope that she, I don't know, has cool things going on, has excellent times. All right, so here is torso. If you are okay, I think I've been drawing like rounded torsos in various capacities for a lot of instances, just sort of a tube-like quality. Okay, how much of this do I want to put? Is start with a head for reference, and then where the shoulders are, and then just sort of stick figure it up. But then also the legs have to be doing an incredibly leggy pose, because maybe if you draw a fan art of the Metaton and you are not legging it up, maybe that's a little bit of a crime. Okay, go a little bit like this, I don't know, and a little bit like this as we figure out what a Metaton is made of. Go like this, and then your other leg, you have to stand on it like this maybe, and that is a type of reference image that I have had. Okay, does it make sense? I don't quite know anatomically. Alright, so that's leg positioning, more or less. We're gonna go to another reference image, kind of combining these things to get some kind of full danceability. Are you depositing what? I thought this was going to be a frog, but if it's a frog, I can scarcely identify what's going on. It's an all new, unique type of frog. All right, so this arm pose, we get a different reference from the leg pose because I have collected so many twinks. I'm just kind of amalgamating them into a super twink. All right. Kind of go like this, kind of go with your other arm, not to catch you with the very pointy elbows, but you might want to perch. All right, and it goes like this for arms. It's gonna go like that, and this is what a Metaton might be made of. Maybe, definitely the posing. Whatever details I'm capable of getting wrong, the posing is going unequivocally right. Alright, just like that, just like this. It's gonna be it could be a little bit difficult to transition from one to the other. And then there's a couple of things I'm missing. Saying that Alpha seems like they take pride in being very technical like that. It's like that one fan comic of Alphys. Who would design a robot? What kind of idiot would design a robot you can't smash? Is the fan comic that I think got shown to an actual panel of engineers who make robots? Something like that. There's hiding Arcade saying she met Ruby under wild circumstances. Oh, class, yeah, specifically. But from what you hear about her, Ruby seems like she would be lovely to be around. And Kai talking about how you're gonna spend more money to buy a weekend to pass this. To buy your weekend pass to this con. I hope you have an excellent time. If you're gonna, I don't know if you're gonna like get the merch. To show pictures of the merch in the Discord. Let me vicariously be at convention. I don't know if it's too much to ask, but I'm gonna be in a dusty ass house. Whatever the hell it was posted in the Discord, it was gonna keep me alive. There's so she's saying, what is your job, Kaya? I need a job that pays them well. Is it the job that turns into paying well because you maybe live with a relative. Okay, there's Hijinks Arcade saying you meet Ruby and saying also just wondering, but did you see the part of the Jeff Hit video with the Kuno? Oh, I wasn't gonna be skipping around, which leads into some overthinking of when exactly am I going to watch the entire 4-hour video. You know what? I mean to be drawing a bunch today, actually. I mean to be drawing an entire bunch today, so might as well watch that today. So there's a tiny frog standing on his leg. It has eyebrows too, perching and standing on his leg. Oh my god, look at it. Oh, Metaton isn't the only one who can do leg poses. There is also frogs. You heard it here first, folks. There's not only Metaton, there's frogs. A little bit of this happening in here, and this is what arms are made of. And your hand can go into your hair sort of lazily, because I'm assuming that hair is here, that it's here and it's real. Okay, a little bit like this, a little bit like this. I've beefed it. I'm looking at the reference image. I'm not doing what the reference image is doing, and I've overthought yet another very simple stage of drawing. Very simple indeed. Elbow is like this. What else goes on here? Asking why your house smell like smoke. Oh dear. And there's your dad is burning stuff outside. Hopefully in a good way. Well, stay safe out there. I hope it's controlled. There's Kai saying, I will show all my merch when I've come back, because you rob banks. You rob banks for a living. You rob banks and you make a killing for a living. Oh my gosh, more girlfriend arts. A little bit of the paradox. Claude look happening. Oh. Not Peridot, but Yellow Diamond happening. A little bit zoomed into things. A little bit. Oh my gosh. But I feel like if I may show on a stream, I feel like you have captured the essence of Yellow Diamond Steven Universe on the blob of a on the blob form of a Napstablook. Let's observe an arts indeed. How do I put it? It's exactly as grand as you may have envisioned, chat, and I hope that you were envisioning as I announced the arrival of Napstablook Undertale Steven Universe Yellow Diamond. Everybody throw back 2015, 2016. That's where I want to be. It's where I want to be. And then there's talk of running. And Hijinks saying, I've been waiting to show that to you, but I guess it's fine if you want to get to that part yourself. Okay. When I come across that part, then I'll send a little messagey thingy of reacting and such. Hey, I'm loving this. Arts. Paradox, Claudodots, there's. So what are you talking about? Is that why there aren't any more banks in the park I used to visit? Are they profitable? And Hijinks okay talking about how you finished Serious Sam last night and was wondering if it was okay to share some songs I liked that you could maybe add to the stream. Oh, yeah, okay. I added some. I did get to add the other seriouser forms of Sam's. Serious, or I don't know. They're probably all the same level of serious. I got to add all of these fellas at the top. But yeah. Okay, so your dad is trying to non-lethally drive the bees away. Why are you putting fall asleep in quotes, YouTube? They fall asleep. They do fall asleep. It's a tried and true methodology. They fall asleep. No need for the quotes. All right, a little bit of this is happening, and and I'm going to place Metaton on this. All right, I've started a great many poses. They're going okay. They're going okay, and they're going interestingly. Are you showing the old doodles? My girlfriend is has some. Okay, I know cartoons. I swear. Is Ed and Eddie fan arts? Are we seeing all of the Eds? Are we seeing them? Did you turn somebody into a bit of a dog here? Did you replicate the Jetson style perfectly as I'm scrolling down over here? A Frisk and a Gaster up here. Not to fixate on things, but who did you turn into a human faced dog going? Not to freak on you, but I'm fixating on the fixating on the human dog. Okay, so things are falling asleep. Kai is robbing banks, taken and robbed all of the banks. So now there's no more. You get $1 million from each one. Oh my gosh! And they're keeping $1 million of their dollars right on hand. All right, we'll shrink this on down. Shrunk this on down. I guess today love is even smaller than Twink Wario. Not to escape from your hats, because I really do appreciate the hats, but I simply must move things around this canvas now because it's Metaton time. Truly, really. I mean, actually, it's 6 minutes to the end of the stream. 6 minutes to the end of the stream, but other than that, it is Metaton time. Okay, resizing things. Is it working for me? I wish to envision Metaton in all of the meta glory. It really makes me sad that Facebook is called Meta, because it was a fine word. It's a fine word that you can use for anything. Alright. And now, am I capable of drawing this character? I guess I would want to start with the face a little. Did you draw a Rick from a Rick and Morty, but sort of with only a little bone sticking out of the neck, like a little bone? Oh my gosh. Oh, you are finding all of the details, all of the every single arts. I'm showing things. I hope it's okay if I may show the natural continuation, which my girlfriend has drawn a peridot with the clawed face. With the clawed face, indeed. My goodness, the storied history of art. There's 4 minutes. There's 4 minutes in this stream left, and I'm learning what Metaton looks like. I feel like I would wanna have incredible amounts of serving face for one. You are not allowed to draw Metaton, to conceive of a Metaton that does not serve face. Okay, goes like this, and like this, and like this. And I will probably continue to figure out the details. Okay, but the sprite... fan art has not gone incredibly hard with like the makeup. I want to say has not started to go super hard with all that is going on in the eye area of a Metaton. And turn up the jitter to see if that helps with the sketchy sort of look. Does that help with anything that I wanted to do, or does it not? I don't know. Okay, a little bit like this, but also a little bit like this. Gotta have some cool shaped eyes and really look at you like this, but also incredible amounts of eyeshadow, I want to say. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily go off the face if you're having eyelashes. But if you were, it would be to the maximum. Okay. I feel like I had a vision. I feel like I had a vision of what your face maybe should look like, can look like, does look like. Okay, go on with some nose or something, anime inspiration on ya. That might be. If you go too pointy, then it looks like caricature. Okay, like this, and face plating like this, and then some kind of a makeup happening. What intensity of makeup does this justice? It has to be pretty intense. I have to figure out what this looks like. Are you Is this the Omni-Man pose? Are you double cheeked up with this frog? A singular minute of stream remains. Alright, some hairline happens. You best believe everything about Metaton is snatched. And yeah. Okay. The hair is here also. I kind of wanna flip through and show off all of the girlfriend art, or at least going through it. I don't know, greatest hits, and explain like the dog thing. I wish to show these things. On the stream. Okay, also focusing simultaneously on this. This is based on the overworld sprite, but also in art styles that I like and want to do. I don't know, want a chunky sort of the hair. Okay, kind of like this happens. And it's all explained. It's all totally explained. Okay. Fabulous hair is happening. And I don't know that this is represented in sprites exactly, but I might be kind of weak to the slight black lipstick or whatever that I've seen in like some fan arts and such of Metaton. There we go. Okay, and then a little bit of the face plating, a little bit of the bolts happening. This, if I make you too serious, you look like that Queen Don't Cry meme. You look like Queen Don't Cry. Oh my god, Froggy started hitting the pole. Alright, let's, I'm gonna do some art appreciations and I guess continue metatoning the week after next week. I'm closing out of here. I'm appreciating the arts. I'm inching forward on what happens in Smash or Pat. This is one of the... There's such a variety of female characters in Disco Elysium. This one, right up in here with some scary mercenary business. I feel like it's not to be narratively wrong or anything. I would kind of smash Dolores Day. At least the version that is appearing in Harry's stream. Assuming that I'm not Harry, this would make his stream way worse if he sees someone hooking up with his ex. And that's the final thought that I put out here. But there's metatons to appreciate. There's poses to get into. There's the haunted Twink Wario being mildly licked or perhaps tongue kicked. These are both similar. Your dad is drinking a raw egg. It sounds like a lot of stuff started happening with your leg. Fire related and other things related. There's song recommendations. Have I missed any song recommendations? I better start clicking them so I don't miss them. clicking 2 of them at the once. Is that going to infect play on us? Alright, I'm appreciating the artworks because this turned out downright adorable. There's something saying, I curiously searched for the location you provided, the one where you will spend days and days. It can't be that bad. No. You're right to cut yourself off at the it can't be that bad 600 inhabitants. 600 inhabitants. They have a car dealership. That was surprising. That is surprising. You roasted your hand mildly on the stove? No. Is your skin okay? Your skin and muscles and other parts of the hand that I'm familiar with as a human? Are you good? This is I'm appreciating the last of the adorable arts in here. Adorable arts. How did this... We have an object show ready to go. We have some gods, some zillas ready to go. And it has been a very lovely sort of stream. I will see you guys not next week, but the week after that for elaborating on Metaton and maybe Frog. Have a great rest of your days. Your days? I'm cool. Your days, your eggs, and your day that's happening now. Have a great... Thanks for being...